So did you hear that there were apparently nuclear talks between the Donald Trump American administration and Iran? Which is very weird given that during Trump's previous presidency, he ruined Obama's deal with Iran, attempted deal with Iran to basically what it was to force Iran to stop developing nuclear energy in exchange for things like sanctions relief. Because they're trying to claim that Iran wants to develop a nuclear weapon for the sake of like bombing everyone in the world just for the fun of it. That's basically the idea behind the entire, Iran is developing nuclear fission or whatever the fuck it is hysteria. When the USA obviously has tons of nukes, and Iran having a nuke would be way more warranted than the USA having it, because Iran actually feasibly might want to use it for defensive purposes or deterrence against, you know who? The USA! Because Iran is under like real threat of possibly being invaded one day by the USA. The Americans have literally for decades been fucking frothing at the mouth at the prospect of bombing and or invading Iran. So Iran having nuclear weapons would be far more just than the USA having them and Iran not having them. So that's the whole thing with the Iran nuclear deal. So back in 2018, when Trump was still the president, during his first presidency, he abandoned the Iran nuclear deal. And now, paradoxically, Trump suddenly wants an Iran nuclear deal after he torpedoed the original one. Presumably, this would be Iran agreeing to just dismantle its whole like nuclear energy research program in exchange for sanctions relief, which, to be clear, that is a bad idea, Iran. They're just going to sanction you the second they want to. Like, you have no guarantees here. Don't accept it. Just keep developing the nukes. Or no, the nuclear power. Sorry, Ayatollah. I kind of gave the game away there for a second. So this is like so out of left field. It's completely different to what Trump did in his first term. It makes no sense. Like, he doesn't have a coherent foreign policy anymore. It's all a mishmash of shit that does not make sense together. So the Middle East envoy of Donald Trump's administration, Steve Witkoff, and the Iranian foreign minister met in Oman last week, and apparently they are meeting again, this time for like more serious, in like a more serious way rather. So this makes no sense. I think Trump is a Russian agent. I think basically Putin is getting Trump to do everything that he thinks would be beneficial for Russia, and part of that is taking the pressure off Iran, which is a potential or an actual Russian ally, especially in the middle. Like, Iran is a huge prize as a regional power player, like on the level of Saudi Arabia almost. So taking pressure off them and like Russia trying to bring them onto more of an alliance on equal terms with themselves would be extremely beneficial for Russian foreign policy. Like, I don't know how else to fucking explain this shit. The only thing that Trump is doing overall is the Gaza genocide, which they were doing anyway. And Russia isn't anti-Israel. Russia is not pro-Palestine at all. So it makes sense that they wouldn't really care about that, especially because, they'd be kind of, if Vladimir Putin forced Agent Donald Trump to suddenly declare that Palestine was one state and Israel is an illegitimate state, that would be very suspicious. Too suspicious. He'd be giving the game away. Like, everything else is precisely what I would do if I wanted to destroy American power from within. I would destroy the so-called soft power apparatus, destroy the propaganda apparatus. I would threaten all of my neighbors. I would tariff everyone. I would destroy all of the historical alliances that I have used to maintain my global imperial influence and power. I would also implement like incredibly self-destructive American policies that will ruin the lives of my fat American labor aristocrats who benefit from imperialism. Donald Trump does it all. So the Iran deal maybe isn't that surprising given everything else. But I mean, I still wouldn't trust them, obviously. You're going to trust like the US government, let alone Donald Trump, to act rationally and like uphold their end of a deal? Because once you get rid of the nuclear program, them re-implementing sanctions on you is way easier than it is for you to get your nuclear program back to the point where it was before you dismantled it. So it's a very lopsided deal, and you have no real recourse if they just decide to re-sanction you, aside from beginning the nuclear program again. But they lost nothing, and you lost quite a lot of your progress from dismantling all your nuclear infrastructure and like your science teams and shit. So I don't know. Do not agree on a nuclear deal with the USA. There would need to be something more, like some sort of real guarantee, and I'm at a loss as to what that could be. So personally, I think Iran should say fuck off. Don't trust the US government ever. Like, the only tangible threat that Iran would have is if you break the deal, we bomb Israel. And Iran wouldn't do that because Iran are a bunch of cucked cowards who don't really care about Palestinians, aside from how they can be utilized for their own geopolitical interests. So, like, if they did bomb Israel in retaliation, it'd be like 2 missiles fired into an empty field after they call the IDF in advance to make sure that no one's in the field, just to make it look like they're doing something. So yeah, they shouldn't do anything here. Just don't do anything. No deal. Deal or no deal? No deal. The art of the deal? No deal. That's what I say to Iran. No nuclear deal. Keep developing nukes. And when you have them, well, finally you have some leverage to get real deals out of these motherfuckers. So get the nukes. Get the nukes. Get the nukes. I want a nuclear-armed Iran tomorrow. Please, thank you.